Now, uh, now as we already done the pivot option, now unpivot option will be more clear to you. Okay. So what was the pivot option first of all? The pivot option was very simple. If I was having this data like product, okay, product ID, you can say the same kind of data. And imagine if I'm having a data name as month, okay, and I'm having a data name as sales. I'm trying to replicate the same scenario over here. Like we have P001, we have P and month is a January. Okay, so let me drag and drop this as a 3 times and I can create a copy cell. Okay, then again I'm having P002. I will drag and drop this as a 3 times and mention this copy cell. Okay, and I'm going to create P003, right? Let me drag and drop 3 times once again and I can make this copy cell and I'm going to write Jan, Fab, March, right? So I will drag it here and again I will kept copy cell. Okay, then I will drag it here and again kept it as a copy cell. Fine. And here are the values, whatever values we are having. Okay, fine. So I can copy this and I can paste as this as a transform. Okay, I can copy this. I want to paste this as a transpose, sorry, not transform. This option is known as transpose. I want to copy this and I can paste this as a transpose, right? So guys, this is what I want to generate. This is the meaning of unpivot the data. So this is actually a data in a pivoted form. So what do you mean by pivoted form? What I'm trying to do it here. So I am having a product ID. I am having 3 columns for January, February, March. Similarly, we could have a 12 columns for 12 months. Okay, so don't be surprised. So I want to restrict the volume of data so that we can understand the concept very well. So right now I'm having 3 columns, January, February, March, and I want to create one column named as month, which will capture the data from the headers, from the heading. So heading of column B will become data for month. Heading of column B will become data for month once again. Heading of column C will become data for month. This one, correct? And whatever value we have, so this value will become sales value. Okay, and whatever product we have, this is known as product value. So this is the vice versa of the concept that we have learned in the pivot form. Okay, so this option we are going to achieve using Azure Data Factory pipelines. So what we are going to do, we are going to create a data, let's create directly a pipeline here. So I'm going to create a pipeline name SPL underscore unpivot. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag this copy data flow activity, and inside this data flow activity, if you want to give a description, you can name it as data flow for unpivot sales, unpivot sales, something like that. Okay, so you can, because we have not created the data flow activity as of now, so we cannot choose any existing data flow, so we have to hit on new to create the data flow. So I can name this once again as df underscore unpivot. Okay, and I can hide my properties. I can click to add the sources. And what is the source we have? So we have to first make our source uploaded here. So as of now, this source, okay, let me clear this off. Okay, okay, no problem, no problem. I think I'm already having the files, okay, in my output container. So let me check my container. This is the input container. I'm having these files uploaded here. So this is the file I'm having. So let me check the file. I can click and go to edit. I can see the data is there, but a slight changes I need. I want to remove this underscore sales. Okay. So I can remove here, and here itself I can save. Okay. So that's fine now. Now what I'm going to do, I can use this sales underscore pivot, which is available in my input container. Okay. So let me go to this one. Okay. Now I can use both options, like dataset and inline both. So let's this time use inline options. So in inline options, I can select any kind of data set type. So which type I am having? I am having a CSV format type, right? It is stored in CSV format. So basically, what I'm going to select, I am going to select the under the file system. You can see there are multiple files. We have AVRO option, common data model, CDM, delimited text is meant for CSV. We have other file systems like Delta, Excel, JSON, ORC, Parquet, and XML, right? So it is allowing multiple files options you have. So we are choosing CSV here. I can select link services, which is already created, and we have covered this already in the previous classes. Okay. So rest of the things looks okay. We can go to the source option. We can browse our file. So I can go to import container, and this is my CSV file. This is UnPivot. Okay. I can hit on OK. And if you want to check once again, okay, that's fine. So we have selected the file. So this is the option between your dataset option and inline option. In inline option, you have to select, specify the browse path here itself. Okay. Because it is not reusable. Dataset is a reusable concept. So inline basically help you to, which is used only specific to this data flow. Okay, now what I'm going to do, the first row is a header for me. That's why I click this. Okay, and rest of the things I will keep as it is. I will go to projection. I will have to import the schema. So in import the schema, it is asking what is the behavior and everything. So I'm not going to fill anything. I clicked on import because I want to do it immediately. I don't want to schedule it for future, right? So once it will be done, it will display all the list of columns available with this. So you can see that list of column available is this. We have a string and we have sort. Sort is basically meant for, smaller values. Okay, so today the value is very small. That's why automatically the system picks that it is of short nature, but actually tomorrow, it will be very heavy data should come. So I will select decimal. I can convert the data type as decimal from short so that I can give, maximum capacity to hold the data. Fine. So these are the changes we have done so far. I can click on optimize, inspect and data preview. I can hit on refresh to see the data. You have to make sure that you have to make this data flow debug option enabled before you're doing this data preview. Okay. So let's wait for some time to get the data. Okay. So this is the data set which is available in your source. It's a simple data set. Okay. And we need to unpivot this. Okay. So what we are going to do, we can hit on plus icon and we can select the option known as unpivot. Fine. So basically the same we have everything vice versa. For example, if you see the pivot option, first option was coming as group by, second option was coming as pivot key, third option was coming as pivoted column. But here in unpivot options, all the options un is used in before, right? So it is a vice versa of pivot concept. So I can go once again to the same thing. So what column you want to unpivot? Obviously this is your pivoted column, right? This is your group by column. So if you want to ungroup means you want to, make from this P001 you want to make multiple entries. Okay, so this is the meaning of ungrouping, right? So you want to ungroup the product ID. You want to see the product ID actually, right? So ungroup column will become your product ID. Okay, and that's all. Then you can go to unpivot key. So unpivot key is basically, what is the unpivot key? So you have to give the column name for unpivot key. So you want to kept a column like month. You have to kept month column, and rest of the column should become, under this month, right? So what is the column name you want to put? You want to put column name as month. So inside month column, what kind of data it is? It is an alphabet, it is a varchar, or if it is a number, what kind of data it is? It is string. January, February, March, this is a string, right? So here you have to specify the data type as string. Okay, so you can see what it is asking for. It is asking for unpivot column type. Okay, so you can make this as a string. Fine. And the third one option is coming as pick column name as values. So you have to use this option, pick column name as values, right? Always. Or you can make this enter values also, but in our case, we should pick from this column name. Values should be picked from this column. So this is the column name, right? This is the column name, and you want to insert under month these values, right? So that's why you have to use this option. Fine. Okay. And in unpivot column simply means that what is the meaning of this? The sales. You have to kept sales name, and all the values will be segregated accordingly. Okay. So what you have to specify in the column name, you are specifying the column name total sales, or sales, whatever it is, right? So let's do it like sales. Okay. And what is the type of this column? So obviously this column could be of decimal type. Okay. So you can select this as a decimal type because this is values. Okay, so you have to understand this very conceptually. Now you can make the rest of the options as it is, like use current partitioning. Inspect is nothing but it will show you the column which is going to be generated. It is going to be generated these three columns. In our example also, it has generated three columns like product ID, month, and sales. Okay, and these are the data types. Then you can directly go to the data preview and click on refresh button. Okay, so it is going to generate you the unpivoted options. So very interesting. You can see now the product column, this was the data. This was the data earlier. This was the column name earlier. This January, February, March has captured under the month column, and these cells are distributed, and this product ID is ungrouped. Okay, so you can see the same data is coming, whatever we have find out, the same value exactly matching. You can see values also 500, 450, 600, 300, 350, 400, 700, 800, 750. You can see exactly matching, right? So this is the concept of your unpivot option. Now to save this file and see the output, what we can do, again we can go to the sync node. We can click on the sync, and this time again I'm going to use the inline option. I'm not creating multiple data sets. Okay, and again because I want to generate this, you can generate anywhere, right? You can generate in SQL database also, right? So this time let's do it using SQL, but in SQL that table should be ready, but I don't have a table in SQL, right? So I cannot do it. Okay, so let's first create in the CSV only. But if you're creating the table, then you can generate in SQL also. So let's do it in CSV as of now. So link services you can use. Let me stretch this out a bit. So link services you can use, and you can go to setting once again, and again you have to specify where you want to generate the output file. So you want to generate the output file in output container. Okay, you can hit on OK. Then the first row you should select as a header, and that's all for this. So error log, once again if you want to generate the error log anywhere you can put that. Okay, otherwise you can leave as it is. So in output to a sync it will generate this error log. Okay, if you want to output in a separate file you can hit that and specify the name of the file and path as well. So I'm going to do it for mapping. Okay, so it will automatically do the mapping. So whatever data it is coming from the previous node, What is the previous node? This is the previous node. So in previous node we have three columns. So these three columns will do auto mapping with this generated output. So that's why auto mapping is selected. Okay. So you can go to optimize, but remember, if you want to generate the output in single file, right? So what you have to do, you have to again go back to setting and you have to, you know, give a file name options. So file name option in output to a single file. And if you want to generate the output with a file name like sales underscore unpivot, unpivot, okay, then you can, okay, in this unpivot data, something like that. And then obviously you need to, what you need to do, you need to set this as a single partition. So you have to go in optimize tab and set as a single partition, then you would be able to generate the output in a single file. Okay, in inspect you can see all the columns which is going to be generated. In data preview, once again you can just click on refresh to see what kind of data it is getting generated. So every time it's a best practice to see the data. If you have any error, you can make this corrected at the same time. Okay, so this is a very simple data flow which I have created with three simple nodes because I just want to demonstrate the concept and or concept behind the unpivot option. Okay, so this is the data which is generated, which is as same as your previous node, which is unpivot node. Okay, so now I'm going to, either I can debug this, or first I should publish this. Okay, so I'm going to publish this entire data flow as well as our pipeline. You can see that it is published. Okay, so as soon as it is published, I can go to my pipeline and I can hit on debug options. Okay, and I will wait for this to be completed. Okay. Okay, so this is completed now. You can see it is succeeded. So I can go inside my output container once again and I can refresh. Basically, you can see the data is generated like sales and pivot data. If you want to see the data, you can click on that, go to edit, or if you don't want to edit, you want to download it, you can download also. You can see the data is downloaded. Okay. And because I did not specify the that it is a CSV format, that's why it is downloading under the txt format only, correct? So we can also specify .csv options and it will be, you know, loading in CSV format only while generating the output. So that's the completion of our unpivot options. Okay, thank you.